views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Today on my show here in our home studio is Commissioner Nelson Peters. Hey, kid.
Thanks for having me.
I have questions for you, dear.
Happy to answer them.
I haven't seen you in a dog's age.
It's been a while, for sure.
Stars.
We did a show a long time ago. I might have been 2009. Might have been since then.
Holy mackerel. I lost count.
Easy to do.
Almost 730 shows.
That's a bunch.
Done. 14 seasons.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
So let's start with questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, where were you born and raised?
I was actually born in Schenectady, New York. I was the son of an engineer from General Electric who transferred to Philadelphia when I was 7 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent some of my more formative years in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Moved out to Fort Wayne in the early 70s because of my father's transfer.
How old were you?
I was 12 or 13 at the time. And then ended up at Croninger Elementary School to finish the 6th grade.
Right.
Went to Jefferson, what was junior high school at the time.
What is it now?
It is now Jefferson Middle School.
Why did they?
But
Middle.
that's a good question. Don't know why they changed the name.
Mm-hmm.
And from there I ended up at Blackhawk Junior High School.
He worked there for Blackhawk, didn't you?
Crossing guard.
Crossing.
Yeah, okay.
Many moons ago.
Yep. And from there ended up at Snyder High School where I graduated.
And your first job, what's your major in when you went? Did you go to university or?
I did. After Snyder High School, I spent a couple of years trying to figure out life. And I worked in my father-in-law's factory and decided that I really didn't want to do that the rest of my life. So I embarked on an education down at Indiana University in Bloomington. Majored in public affairs with a minor in urban planning. And spent several years down there. Had dated the same girl throughout. I was ready to head off to law school.
Right.
And she says, "Nah, I don't think you're going to do that." And I said, "Why not?" She said, "Well, because if you do that, I'm going to marry somebody else." And I thought,
had one of those days.
I thought, I had a lot wrapped up into that relationship, and so I decided to forego law school. Mm-hmm. Worked on a master's degree after having married her. And worked on a master's degree up here at what was Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
just up here?
And that degree was a master's degree in public administration. And 43 years later, we're still married.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be married 33 years.
That's a pretty good feat in and of itself.
April 27th. Wow. Hot day.
Good feat in and of itself.
Feet.
Feet, those kind.
Oh, those kind.
This is F-E-A-T.
I'll be all right. So, when did you become involved with politics?
Probably in high school. Mm-hmm. I was class president at Snyder High School. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's where I took a liking to a bigger stage on the political front or not. But I was always fascinated by local and state and federal politics.
So was I.
Throughout, and I think one thing sort of led to another. When I first started working, I was Director of Human Resources for Allen County government, and got thrown right into the political fray at age 26.
Holy mackerel.
And that sort of led to a real desire to help shape the system. And the best way to do that really was as a county council person at the time. So I had moved on as Director of Human Resources under Paul Helmke for the city of Fort Wayne, and at the same time ran for county council. I spent 10 years in the county council.
Right.
And decided that at the time probably wasn't the place to do. When I entered the county council, I was 32, and the other 6 members were over the age of 65. And the ideas that I was bringing at the time didn't seem to jive with what it was they were thinking. So after 10 years, I left, bought a business,
Right.
plastic injection and rubber molding, and played in the manufacturing business for a while. But 5 years went by, and there was a new group of county council people
Right.
that wanted to hold that office. And they were talking about the things that I had been talking about when I first got on the council. And I thought that's kind of neat. So in 2004, I decided that I wanted to sort of join them, but not as a council person again, as a county commissioner. So I ran for county commissioner in 2004 and have been
20 years,
in that
Ken.
office ever since.
20 years?
Yep, I'll be finishing my 20th year.
That's 5 re-elections, so to speak.
Yeah, this is my 5th term, the last year of my 5th term, and that's after 10 years as a county councilman. So I'm actually finishing my 30th year as an elected official. And that's after having spent some time as a bureaucrat,
Oh, wow.
as Director of Human Resources for both county and city government.
So, your district, what? District 1?
I'm District 1, that is correct.
What?
But I think districts a lot of times get mixed up in Allen County, only because there's a requirement that you live within a certain geographic boundary, which is a district, but everybody in the county actually gets the opportunity to vote for you. So when people say, well, I called you because you are my district commissioner, basically I handle constituent complaints from throughout all of Allen County, regardless of the district.
Yeah.
Everybody, regardless of the district, votes for me.
So, your duties. What do you do as a commissioner?
Well, the duties are interesting. If you remember your old civics textbook,
Yeah.
you had the executive, and you had the legislative, and then you had the judiciary. And those were the 3 checks and balances, at least at the federal level. In 1951, when the Indiana Constitution was written, they decided to have some fun and change things up just a little bit.
Switch it around.
So what they did was they created a superior and a circuit court to serve as the judiciary.
Right.
They created the county commissioners, who both served as the executive as well as the legislative branches in government. So we write the rules and then we administer the rules. And
You pass bills.
yeah, we pass bills and then we pass bills and then we administer the outcome of those bills that have been passed. And so you wonder, well, where is the check and balance if they're doing both ends? And the fact of the matter is, the county council figures in as a check and balance, as the fiscal agency in county government. So I can decree a stop sign out here on the corner of St. Joe and Washington Center, or I guess that's still St. Joe Center out here.
Yes,
And that's all well and good. But if I don't have the money to put that stoplight or that stop sign up, then I'm dead in my tracks. So I've got to go to the county council as a check and balance to the commissioners to make sure I get that money.
how do you get the money? Do you get tax?
Yeah, they get revenues from a number of streams. They've got what they call a local income tax. They have a community development income tax. They've got an ambulance tax. They've got fire taxes.
Right.
They've got all kinds of taxes, property taxes. Well, it sure seems like it. And then there's also user fees. If we perform a function to which there may be a charge, like a building permit, issuing a building permit, we've got what they call miscellaneous revenues. So you've got tax funds and you've got miscellaneous revenues. They make up the county's budget, and the county's budget all told is about $130 million right now. Now, unfortunately, the sad story of that is 76% of that budget, about $80 million right now, goes to the justice system. So it goes to the judges, it goes to the courts, it goes to the jail, it goes to buy police cars, it goes to fund the sheriff's department, it goes for all kinds of justice-related things. And it's a shame when that number keeps increasing.
Yeah.
I told you I got into the game as a county councilman in 1991.
Yeah.
And at that time, the justice only represented 56% of the entire county budget. It's now 76% of the entire county budget.
You giving yourself raises or something?
No, the bad guys aren't getting any better.
No, shit.
And there keeps being more and more of them.
Yeah. What bugs me is the homeless people in Fort Wayne.
Yep.
And everybody's giving themselves more money every year.
Yep.
Charging more money. The homeless fall through the cracks.
Yep.
How do we help?
So there's a gentleman that I don't want to name
All right, don't.
by name necessarily, but he tends to the homeless population in Fort Wayne and Allen County. And I've asked him before, why is it such as it is, and how do you fix it? And he told me that the interesting thing is that a number of those homeless people want to be homeless. They don't want to be tied to anything. Now, they don't mind, in some cases, standing in the street with a sign asking for money. They don't mind asking for food. But when you provide
For them.
for them, a lot of times they will reject that.
So
Now, that's not every one of them, obviously, and it may
no.
not even be a majority of them.
I
But
think there's a majority who have no other choice to be living on the streets
yep,
because they were either had sickness in the family and they ran out of money, they lost their jobs, or they are mentally disabled
yep,
and couldn't work or be under structure or
yeah.
something.
No, I would agree.
So
Absolutely would agree with that.
how do you help? So as a commissioner, what were the projects you worked on throughout Allen County?
Oh, Patty, there's been a number of projects, and
Yeah.
I'm so proud and happy to have been a part of a lot of the growth that we've seen in this community over the last 20 years, from the $1.5 billion General Motors expansion to the construction of General Mills
Yeah.
and Walmart milk producing facility, and the XPO facilities out on Bluffton Road right now.
Wow.
To things like the $500 million Parkview Regional Campus expansion. And, you know, there's been a lot of little things in between that I've been so honored to have been a part of.
How many awards have you won so far in recognition?
Oh, I don't know. You know, I don't want
You
to
got a
count.
minute.
I don't want to count awards.
But you do
You know, I think.
excellent work.
Well, that's so kind of you to say, and I appreciate that. I would hope that part of my legacy is that people don't look at any one specific thing, any one specific achievement. You know, I would hope that people would remember me as a caring, responsive, effective county commissioner who could get things done that were asked of him, either by a constituent or by a business or group of people.
That's right. As a council member, you were working as a chairman for what task force?
There was an old criminal justice task force. At the time was designed to answer some of the questions regarding why the criminal justice system was expanding at the rate that I mentioned a few minutes ago.
Right.
And there were a number of people that came to the table to work on that project, judges, other commissioners at the time, some council members, police, chiefs from Allen County, from New Haven, and Fort Wayne.
So.
And I think part of where we got to was there was a simple breakdown of the family at the time that had
Dysfunctional family.
absolutely that had, you know, some of these kids acting up in school, and there wasn't really an ability of schools to deal with some of these folks, and they weren't being dealt with at home. And so one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden there's more and more actors that are creating full jails. And so did we ever come up with some long-term solutions to the problem?
Did you?
No.
Oh.
No,
Are you
we
still
really
in
never did.
problems now?
Well, you know, the solution now, whether it's a good one or not, is to expand the size of the jail. And
Do they have a place now, or are they still debating?
oh no, the construction's getting ready to start, and we'll probably break ground this spring sometime over in the old International Harvester Complex.
Oh,
We've got 140 acres over there. 70 of it is bare ground. 70 of it is the old engineering building. And with the old engineering building, it's our hope that we can collect all of the 50 buildings that we've had scattered throughout Allen County
right.
and consolidate them right there in that spot. So you'll have most of the Allen County offices right there, and then you'll have a jail on the other 70 acres. If you take a map of Allen County and you fold it in quarters, you will find that spot is in the direct center of Allen County. So geographically, it makes sense to better serve our constituents from a location like that.
Repeaters. Going in and out of jail like an open door, closing door.
It's sad. I have a daughter who majored at Indiana University in psychology,
Right.
and she came out and she went to work for Community Corrections, which was supposed to deal with some of those offenders.
Yeah.
She told me after a couple of years ago, she said, "Dad, I quit." And I said, "Why?" She says, "I'm not making a difference. I'm seeing the same people coming in and out of the system, in and out of the system."
It's in their makeup, you
Yep.
might say.
Yep, and she just felt she couldn't be effective in changing their lives, and so she gave up and became a stay-at-home mom.
You know, with these jails, there is mental illness, especially with violence, drugs and all. They're the ones that need a whole army of people to help them.
Yep,
Not just one or two people in one area.
yep.
That's why she quit, because she was overwhelmed.
Oh, absolutely. think it's the National Justice Advocacy Center. That's not what it is. Something like that, out of Alexandria, Virginia, said that there were about 50% of the population in a jail nationally that has mental health issues. And when I told one of the local judges that, he said, no, it's closer to 80 or 90%.
So
Now,
is it different? It's got frustrated. It has to be changed
it does.
completely.
It does. Part of the problem is out of that 80 or 90%, about 50% of those folks have extreme mental health issues like bipolar.
I have bipolar.
Or
I'm on meds, so.
oh, I forget, schizophrenia or some of those things.
So
And-
what can you do?
And that's the problem. We don't have enough mental health professionals to help.
We have to get more.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
It is.
You also serve as an associate member of Concordia University and IPFW.
I did. And that may be where I return to as part of my governmental retirement. I enjoy the classroom. I enjoy teaching college classes where the folks have actually paid to learn. They'll stay awake. They'll listen to you.
Hello.
And it's been fun. I taught human resources, but I do have prospects of teaching at a couple of the local universities, human resources, which I had intimate familiarity with, as well as public policy or public administration, public affairs, or something like that.
So have you found a place to go to after you leave the office?
Oh, I have. I've actually already had a couple of offers. I've got a couple of other business opportunities that I'll be looking at. So I'm not going to be lacking for anything to do. It's going to be busy time.
So when will you be no longer as commissioner?
That'll actually be January 1st, 2025. So I announced my retirement because I wanted to make sure that anybody who might be running for my seat had enough forewarning that if they were going to start a campaign, they could. The filing season started February. It's not right. It started the middle of January sometime.
Oh.
It ended it will end February 8th.
Right, that's next week.
That's next week. So whoever has filed to run for my seat will engage in the primary in May.
Right.
And
then in November.
Whoever the winner of that is, they'll run in the general election. And then my term is actually officially up December 31st, so they will replace me.
And you have party.
Probably.
20 years. Anyways, I would like to thank you, Commissioner Nelson Peters, for being my guest, and we'll miss you in the office.
Well, it's very kind of you to say, and it's been my absolute pleasure to be here today. And so good to see you again.
I know. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always for the rest of all our lives.